Survivor News.
Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News.
Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News.
And we are back. The baby boys are back. We're not just back. We're girl, you look good. Won't you back that thing up? You a big fine woman. Won't you back that thing up? Call me Big Zaddy when you back that thing up. Girl, who is you playing with? Back that thing up. The baby boys are back, backing that thing up for Survivor News, season 49, episode 1. I am exhilarated to be here with my brothers that I love to hate, heavy on the hate, even heavier on the love. Let's welcome back to the podcast, the man hailing from the suburbs of Philadelphia. He may currently have the same outfit on that he had on Tuesday, Wednesday, and now Thursday, the winner of Ghost Island, Wendell Holland. What's popping?
What a great intro. Thank you so much, Brice. Thank you. It's good to be here.
It's good to be back. Good to see you. And if Survivor News is complete, we have the man coming in from CT by way of Chicago in reverse of LA, who is 6'7", don't currently have a haircut, long hair, don't care. You might know him from the Netflix show, The Circle. Emily, the floor is lava. Jack Atkins was
Survivor. Wait, there was another part to the intro. He's also an alternate for...
He's also an alternate per Savannah, per Sophie B, 48, okay? The man, the myth, Jack Atkins. What's popping with you?
What's up? Thanks for rattling off my long list of credentials. A lot of people last night were like, why is your face so big on the poster? I was like, I don't know.
No, you're our guy. What you mean? You're the headliner.
I was like, I don't know why my face is bigger than Tiff's, but we'll take it. And a lot of people would ask me about the alternate thing.
What were you saying?
I was like, yeah, you might see me soon. Well, my question actually, because we never unpacked this, the inside joke started as a Survivor Ghost Island alternate, and then it became a Survivor Edge of Extinction thing when Ron Clark accidentally tagged me.
That's
now,
right.
Did you have Tricky? Were you going to have Tricky put 38 on the poster, or was the 48? Was that a different thing that I missed out on?
I mean, I think that might have been tricky in, but
I'm like, I don't even know what season I was in.
No, it was you were out there in casting for 48 because one of the 48ers saw you out there in casting.
Yes, and one of the 48ers that currently 49ers text me and was like, I know I saw Jack. I saw him as the thing, and I screenshotted it to you, Jack. Yep. And I left it at that. Then a couple of days later, I said person back. It was like, no, Jack wasn't out there. And said person was like, oh, Jack already messaged me. He cleared it up. I said, okay, Jack, one thing Jack gonna do, he gonna clear his name. Okay.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, if this was real, if I was actually on there, I would have blown. My chances would be blown for actually getting on there, but they don't want me anyways. So
I like how you're acting like you're not in the system.
Right, because there was a point in time when DZ, if we think about that time frame when Jack's Wi-Fi was acting up, he was unavailable.
Yeah, all right, Jack.
If you go on spring break,
not spring break, Jack. But listen, Survivor News is back. Also, just spoiler alert. The baby boy is wetting his whistle. I am fresh from New York City. Shout out to Brendan Shapiro, one of the only 3 people that I will recognize from Ghost Island: Dominic, Stephanie, and Brendan Shapiro. Brendan Shapiro's son, Will Shapiro, came to our New York party. He brought me a little rum. I said, oh, I don't normally drink the rum, but I am wetting the whistle.
Is that just rum on the rocks?
So no, it's actually because I don't go grocery shopping and I don't really know what goes well with rum. So it's actually like
Coke.
No, don't judge me. It's not Coke.
Is it like iced tea?
It's orange juice. It's a little bit of a lemonade that I had left, and it's a little Diet Dr. Pepper.
Is it white rum or dark rum?
It's a brown rum, so I think that gives it like the color. But
you throw in 5 other things in there, it's gonna look a little darker.
It don't taste disgusting, but if you see me throw up like Nicole, then it wasn't good. But listen. Okay, we got a lot to unpack before we get to the episode. If you are new here, welcome to Survivor News, where it is myself, Brice Izyah, Wendell Holland, and Jack Atkins. We likes to shoot the shit. We have a good time. We talk about Survivor, and we have fun with it. So if you are looking for this is what happened, the articulates of the modulate and my hypothesis of this is you can click out now because
we do a little bit of that. We do
really good breakdowns, Brice. Don't do that.
Sorry, but we also like to have a good time. Sorry, I do have my own language, but I really am excited to be here with my brothers. I currently hate Jackery right now, but I'll get into that as the episode progresses. What? But we are fresh off of the kickoff to Brice and Wen Tour 49, the blueprint, which I like to say Survivor history, we had bi-coastal.
Cut you off, Jack.
I like to say the first time maybe in Survivor history, because that's what Jeffrey liked to say, there were 2 Survivor premiere parties, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast, that happened last night, that happened to be absolutely epic. Wendell and I were holding it down in New York City with some amazing people. We had Kyle, we had Michelle Fitzgerald, we had Izzy that is currently on Amazing Race, we had Cedric, Teeny, Stephanie, Jack, and Carson. So many amazing people. Teeny, the Squid Games, Brandon Donlin, Kelly.
The list goes on and on.
The list goes on. If I forgot you, it's through love. And Jack was over there.
You might have seen a 49er in the building.
Oh, okay, we definitely had a 49er in the building. And I like to say my nails were better, but that's for somebody to debate. But Jack was over there in LA with Ozzy, with Jag, with Joseph, Tiffany, with Sugar, with Lauren Ashley back, with so many amazing people.
Oh yeah, I mean it was a great time. Obviously, we missed the present. You guys, the 2 of you especially, know how to get the community together, get everybody, making sure everyone's having a great time. Like I feel like you guys just really bring the energy to another level. That's why these events were so great to begin with. But luckily, kind of through your hand, we were still able to get things together. The energy still felt like a classic Brice and Wen. Ozzy did a great job hosting, and we just had a great time. So hopefully, there's more to come. Obviously, we wish you were in the building, but 2 parties at once. I mean, no complaints.
No, we love it. And the blueprint, Brice and Wen 49, is just the car is the car ain't even Jack. We was on the highway from New York driving back today.
I know you weren't driving,
right? he didn't sit one time behind the wheel, so he shouldn't be able to say anything about the car at all.
I'm playing. Brice is a great driver.
Thank you, Jack. You've experienced, but
how would I know?
But you're right, Jack. I am a princess. I am a passenger princess when it comes to 2 of my best friends. Shout out to Joey Hatch and Wendell Holland. We're driving back on the highway, Jack. We're talking, and the car like beep, beep, beep. And I'm like, well, mind you, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just Wendell's like, do we have a flat? Normally, your air tire pressure should be like 41, 42, 43. Our air tire pressure was at 28. Okay. And mind you, I'm like, oh, we about to pull over. Like, oh, we about to do something. When DZ said, bruh, okay, we got home in one piece. But the Brice and Wynn Tour 49, the blueprint is just getting started, baby. I feel like Los Angeles and New York we're just the warm up for what is to come. We are headed to Boston, which is a sold out, packed, amazing event next week, October 1st. From Boston, we're headed to San Francisco. From San Francisco, we're going to San Diego. From San Diego, there is Dallas. From Dallas, there is Denver and a couple of stops even in between. And so if you want to be a part of the fun, and I like to say the community, because last night walking through the crowd, talking to the people, the amount of people that were coming up to me saying, where's Jack? The amount of people that were saying, I work for Verizon. I'd like to give Jack some Wi-Fi. The amount of just the community that we have cultivated and been a part of is just truly fun. And I think that you should experience it for yourself. Tickets are still available for Brice and Wynn Tour 49. Click the link in the Brice and Wynn Present Instagram or Twitter or social medias of Wendell and Eyes. And we'd love to see you as we continue, as we start this tour up. But you want to get into some nitty gritty, Jack? Or before we talk about Survivor?
I mean, the first thing I got at, you were teasing before we even started the podcast. You were like, Jack, I hate you.
No, I do.
but I love you, but I hate you, and I can't tell you why.
But I hate you. But before we even get there, Jack, just want to, call my brother Wendeezy to the carpet, because as we started this tour, Jack, Wendeezy was been heavy in my text messages, heavy in our phone conversations, heavy in person about we need to set goals. We need to set goals. And I said, hey, Jack, one of the goals is I don't want to fight with you, Wendeezy. Like, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to fight. My goal is, Jack, 4 or less fights this season. Then Wendeezy piggybacks and says, oh, we can't put a number on it. I like to fight less. We are having an amazing time, Jackery, in New York City. The night is starting to wind down, and I take the initiative to start pulling down some of our stuff so we could get ready. There was a back room that where we had bags. I'm getting the stuff down. I had my book bag on because I had the scissors and the stuff in there. I go in the back room. Immediately, I'm in the back room, Jack. I feel like, I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? I turn around, it's Wendeezy. Wendeezy's like, why do you have your book bag on? I'm like, oh, I didn't know. Then Joey came in the room. Joey like, y'all good? And Wendeezy just starts accosting me and Joey for no reason. I'm like, oh my God, oh, what's happening? In the back room, mind you, fans are coming in, friends are coming in like, hey, I'm leaving. And Wendeezy puts on a good face. Hey, good. But for no reason, Jack, he just was cussing us out. Then as we leave the party, he's like, I wasn't yelling at you. Well, what were you doing? I had to raise my voice because the music was so loud. So anyway, that won't count as a fight. But again, we are...
None of this happened, Jack. He just made everything up.
I did.
Let's not get to one right now, huh? Let's
So we are 0 for 0. And
what's gonna happen is you guys are gonna do a good job, and then it's gonna be the end of the season. Bryce gonna be like, I still got 3 more fights. So
right.
I gotta hit my quota.
But again, just shout out to everyone that was there in LA and in New York. Also, woo. Last thing, and mind you, I was trying to save this for the episode, but hold on, gentlemen. Last thing, Jack. Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Oh no, I know what this is already. Oh God.
I don't know if y'all can hear that, but baby, this coming for the episode. But let me just tell y'all something. Hold on, because I had to clear I had to get the granny britches out because Jackery from Gen X Millennials, Ken Cole, aka Ken McIntyre. Because who knew that was his last name? Okay. Because why is your last name McIntyre?
It's like McNichol, right?
But why your social media name Ken Cole if it's Ken McNichol? Okay. I was shocked. Somebody said, Wendell, Ken McNichol is here. Wendell was like, who? Okay. But wait a minute. Let me just tell y'all something. I don't know if it's Ken Cole or Ken McNichol. Baby. Whoo.
What did he do to your Ken McBritches?
Whoa! Obliterated. Okay. Jack. Now, mind you, I've always been a fan of Ken McNichol, but no. Oh, my God. Seeing Mr. McNichol in person, first of all, okay, wait, Wendell got the Jack internet going on right now. Kenneth McNichol, first of all, Jack, he's like 6'3". I thought he was like, I thought the man was 5'9". And he's broad, he's tall, he has a deep voice, and he don't say or do too much. But oh, Ken Cole McNichol, baby. I didn't know. I knew, but I didn't know. And first, he's never been to a Survivor event post his season. Never been to a Bryson win. Him just pulling up, and I wasn't trying to be all on him, but I
Mr. McNichol.
Yes. But mind you, he's so chill, he's so calm, and in this social climate, to be a man of his stature, his whatever, he on the right side. And I'm just saying, I was taken aback, Jack. I was like, oh my God. Woo! But just shout out to Ken, because I had no idea.
I don't think his last name is
McIntyre.
McIntyre.
Did you think he was that tall?
No, I thought Ken was like 5'9". He's tall. I was looking up to him like, yo.
Broad shoulders. Deep voice.
Ken is great. Ken's
move slow.
Yeah.
But anyway, shout out to Ken. Okay.
It was his birthday.
Hey.
We showed him a little birthday love in the building.
He ain't really love it. He ain't really hate it. I just shout out to Ken McIntyre. Anyway, all right, that's all I got for you. We're going to start the Survivor episode.
Isn't it McNichol?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not McIntyre.
Come tickle my McNichol. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. But okay. 19.
Would he be Zaddy calendar worthy?
First of all, Ken McNichol was in the first ever Brice Izyah printed Zaddy calendar. And we even had a conversation about that, like how he was saying he didn't really know what a Zaddy was. And I was explaining to him what a Zaddy was. And I was like, you are ahead of your time. So again, just shout out to Ken. But let's get into this episode. I do want to start off. Again, baby boy is coming in a little hot. The whistle is wet.
I love it. I love it. I've been cracking up with it.
As I was watching the episode, Wendell, we watched it at our party. And as I was watching the episode, rewatching it, I began this anger in my stomach because normally and historically, I have a type of people that I like to root for. We know who Jack likes to root for. And we did our drafts. Jack and I completely polar opposite. But I have to say that watching this episode, I began to get frustrated with Jack because I feel like maybe I've been friends with Jack so long, I've been potting with Jack so long that like Jack has been rubbing off on me. And I feel like the people that I normally root for, I'm still rooting for and loving, but also I felt like the Jack arc of some of these people that maybe historically I wouldn't necessarily root for, I'm head over heels. I'm loving.
Oh,
I mean, I don't want to glaze the Riz God, but like I love the Riz God. I'm loving Jawan. I'm loving Nate. I'm loving Matt. I'm loving Savannah. And again, I love all of the other players. Those are maybe more of the people that I mentioned. I maybe wouldn't normally gravitate to, but like I was like, I feel like I'm Jack Atkins. I was like, my perspective of watching this episode, and again, that's why I kind of hate you, Jack, because I feel like my survivor echelon is evolving. Like I'm like going back listening to the draft. I'm like, these are all people Jack is saying. And again, I'm loving MC. I'm loving Kristen. I'm loving Alex. I'm loving Shannon. I'm loving Annie. But the way that I'm watching, I'm like, are my eyes Jack Atkins? Like, what is happening?
You hear my voice just in your head a little bit?
Yes, I hear the Wi-Fi breaking up. Like, I'm like, what's going on? But that's just why I'm currently mad at you, Jack, because I feel like, I love to get on this podcast. When DZ don't say much, I love to I actually like to have a conversation. And you're the main person I talk to, and I normally like to be at odds with you. And I'm like, are me and Jack going to be agreeing this season?
But who knows if we're on the same page yet, Brice?
Okay. All right.
Who knows?
That's it.
Because maybe we Freaky Friday.
Oh.
In my mind, I'm liking different people, Brice.
Who knows? But overall, I thought the first episode was great. I absolutely have some complaints, more in like the challenges, but I thought it was a great episode. I thought we got to see a lot of different personalities. I thought like we got to see just people in different elements that we don't normally get to see on Survivor. So I was very happy with the first episode after my rewatch. Your thoughts, Wendy?
I think we have some characters that are going to be fun to watch. Riz God is like very likable to watch. And if you think about somebody just with the name Riz God before knowing who this is, you'd be like, man, what's going on with this guy? He's so likable, man. Like he's such a likable person. So off of one episode, it's like I kind of see why we're gonna see him play again. And then multiple characters that seem like I'm just interested to see how things play out with them. What's my man name? The producer, is that Nate?
Nate. Oh,
Nate.
Rad Dad. Oh,
you good over there, Brice?
Nate McKinty.
Okay. Rad Dad.
Is he a Nate McGintis?
Okay, I mean, I don't know if he's a Nate McGintis, but he's a Rad Dad. Again, I loved Nate as well. This episode wasn't necessarily what I thought from what we saw of him.
Right.
And I loved his Ken McKintis slowness in the sense of like he
was
and he's self-aware. He's like, I'm a dad. This how they're seeing me. He doesn't do the robot, Brice. I don't know what.
No, you're like, I was a PR for Spider-Man.
PA?
PA. And then Jawad was like, oh! Okay. But love Jawad. Jack, who was a standout person for you that surprised you?
That surprised me. Let's see. I mean, I think the Red Tribe collectively
That's
best tribe. That's why I had to throw on the red. That's my favorite tribe. I'm biased, but I was stoked for Jawan. I mean, he had that opening confessional that I thought was a lot of fun. That cinematic first look at the season with him kind of narrating. And I thought he had a pretty good episode. Some ups and downs, but overall good. I mean, character-wise, I thought Jake was a wild character.
Oh,
I mean, we got 8 different things we could talk about with Jake.
he's got a lot.
I mean, he was stealing shoes. He's missing the birth of his firstborn. He's an ex-stripper with a nipple piercing. But then he's also got this wholesome side where he's playing for his dad who's got glaucoma, and this is gonna be the last season his dad ever watches. So it's like I can only imagine the turmoil that Jake was probably experiencing, like balancing, okay, you know, the birth of your firstborn child, but then also this opportunity to play for your dad and play for the money for your family. It's like he's got a lot going on. And then he's stealing people's shoes. So I don't know what to expect from Jake, but he's bringing like I'm still feeling Jake out, but he's without doubt a big character.
Is that a left shoe, Brice?
ready for the taking. Hide it. Hide it. Wherever you like, Jake. I'll go looking. Okay, I like Jake. I like what he's bringing. Now, I do have a hot take, and I was like, and I don't mean this comparison, but I like Jake got a body.
Is he a McGintis?
No, he's not a McGintis. Jake got like a Hulk Hogan body in the sense where, like, you know, and again, this I'm not talking American beer. I'm not talking. I'm talking like 1993, like when everybody like loved Hulk Hogan. Not before we knew all of the. I'm not talking that Hulk Hogan. I'm talking like the Hulk Hogan that we grew up. You know how Hulk Hogan always had like muscles, but also it's like
a gut with some abs.
Right. Do you have a gut or do you have abs? Because, you know, I'm just trying to figure it out. Because, you know, Jake give me hope. Because I feel like I could maybe put my little, like Jake just got a interesting body. That's all. But again, Jake's character was very interesting. I loved Jake. I also like, again, his very touching story. I also felt like talking about his dad, very touching, but I also felt like, well, damn, like, don't get to the end. Like, you know, I feel like that's a confessional, Jake. But again, much respect and only makes you empathetic to what he's going through. And sure, you want to show out. A person that I want to talk about that was like just a standout for me in the sense of I didn't know what they were giving in preseason. But Matt, the older guy, Matt, can we talk about the older guy, Matt? I feel like in this new era, and Matt ain't even that old. And I feel like when we were asking in the preseason, like what Matt did, like, you know, it was like bag vendor, right? We was like, oh, is he a supervisor? Like, what are you doing? Like this first episode, he tells us, he's like, I throw the bags on the plane. But what I found very interesting about Matt was that I find that in this new era, sometimes the older person in his, and again, I don't even like to say older person, the person that is like Wendell's age on the tribe, they normally have a hard time assimilating. And, you know, normally they're bossing people around. They're telling people what to do. What I found the most like, oh my God, was that Matt recognized that he was older. He recognized he didn't really speak the language that these younger children spoke. But what I loved is that Matt just stood back. They try and build fire. And who was it? Was it Jake?
Steven kind of saw him looking on, yeah.
Right. But who was trying to? I don't know. Okay, but somebody was trying to make the fire. It wasn't working. And Matt. Matt was in the back like,
you could see him weighing like,
right.
Do I go kind of the
but he didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
He didn't say nothing. I think of like a Bruce. We know if that was Bruce, we know Bruce would have been all over it. Like the fact that he had the composure to just sit there. And then when it was Matt's turn to do it, Matt said, okay. He just touched the flint and there was fire. I loved the way Matt navigated this episode. Then he linked up with Steven and he's working with Steven. And I love Steven, the rocket science, like he's smart. But I love how Steven was like, well, what are we going to do? If we go out, what are we supposed to do? Like, who should we target? Matt said, I don't really know, but as long as it ain't you and me, he good. Like, I was like, oh my God, like, oh, Matt shocked me. I was shocked by how Matt had his presence, but like he let his presence speak and didn't let him speak for his presence. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Play the cut, sit back, watch, observe, take it all in, and then speak when you need to.
And then speak when you need to. Matt absolutely shocked me. Also Jason, the alternate, but who you got, Jack?
I was gonna say also just Matt, kind of in contrast to Jason and Steven, who come across as a little bit more like neurotic, and we saw Steven kind of having some paranoia almost, whereas Matt was more of just like a steady presence, like, you know. So hopefully he doesn't get like swept up in the shuffle, but yeah, I think it's a good start for Matt. That's why preseason I feel like we could sense those good vibes, that calmness that I think will help him, you know, outlast that typical like older guy placement. That happens a lot. So, but we didn't see a lot from this yellow tribe other than that. We did see Steven running around a lot and making some connections, kind of out of his own sort of self-expressed anxiety of like, are these people talking about me? Like, I don't want them talking about me, so I'm gonna go talk to all of them. But it seemed like he had like a geeky charm that people were buying into. Even I think it was Christina that said, or she was like, who was it?
Ask about his
one of the ladies said, like, at first
MC.
I wasn't really vibing with
MC,
you.
right.
And she was like, at first I wasn't really vibing with you, but honestly, you kind of won me over.
You're kind of
like,
funny, right? No, but that's what I loved about MC though, because MC was like, I didn't know how to feel about you, but I thought you was funny.
Yeah.
And
Is that
MC is
something
me.
Would y'all say something like that?
But
I
I
was wearing
absolutely
that, like-
would.
Yeah, you would, Bryce. You would.
But and again, why I love MC, because it's like if I'm Steven, I'm like, well, okay, you think I'm funny. Well, do you like me? Like, but
that's like, I'd have to read into like the way they said it, because if they were like, at first I didn't know about you, but you're funny, I'd be like, oh, that's bad. But if they were like, I didn't know about you at first, but you're really funny, I like you, and I feel like MC was somewhere in the middle with that. But then we also saw Christina. She was like connecting with him on, Christina hasn't really been in the outdoors before. She was feeling that anxiety a little bit too, and then that's where she and Steven connected as well. So I feel like Steven, from what we've seen from this yellow tribe, does have the most relationships going, but I also feel like Steven could be the type where he starts to maybe freak out a little bit. Not that I'm necessarily predicting that's going to happen, but it'll be interesting to see, is Steven going to play? He's got some cards in his hand now. It's like, is he going to play them right, or is he going to hit when he should stay, you know?
What another thing that I found interesting was that on each tribe, like, you know how sometimes on the seasons when it's 3 tribes, because we don't get 2 tribes anymore, but when there's 3 tribes, we will sometimes see different variations of different archetypes, right? And different forms, or like the combinations of archetypes on each tribe. And so what I thought was interesting was that I felt like with these 3 tribes, we didn't necessarily get like the different variations of archetypes or the combinations, but I felt like the one commonality that I thought was the one person that felt the need to make bonds with everybody. And I thought that that was just something that I took note of, because I'd say on the Yuli tribe, we had Shannon, who is like, I'm not a KO, I'm not a KO, I'm not a KO. Come everybody, come on. I'm not a KO, I'm not a KO. Come on, feel the ocean. Oh, I'm not Reiki, yo, I'm not Reiki, yo. Savannah said, I ain't no I'm not or no Reiki, yo. And I see you. But we see Shannon, right? Coming with the lie. I'm not Reiki, yo, oh, I'm not Reiki, yo, oh, I'm not Reiki, yo, oh, I'm not Reiki, yo, I'm not Reiki, yo, ho. Ho. We see Shannon with that, right? Also, on the next tribe, I feel like we see Steven, who's like, hey, I love you. Let's work together. Okay. Hey, I love you. Let's work together. 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 Hey, like we see that in Steven. And then also on the other tribe, we see my girl Sophie B, who, and again, I'm very relatable to Sophie B in the sense of like, hey, let's work together. She go to Jake, like, hey, let's work together. And where she says that to Jake, and the britches get a little moist, where Jake's like, hey, I actually haven't had any one-on-one with Alex, but I'm just letting you know that's my man. So let's figure it out. Okay. That's me and my man. And then, Sophie then connects with Jeremiah. She connects with Nicole. She connects with Annie. Like, she has this like dominance that I find so interesting, because it's like you do want to stay on top of it. And so I feel like so interesting to see that in each tribe we have this like personality trait that I love. And I'm not mad at it, because it's like it's what you would want to do while you're on Survivor.
Yeah, I think you bring up a lot of great points. Like, well, yeah, shout out to Sophie, because you asked early on like who stuck out. I thought she was great. She was super funny, but also like her gameplay I thought was really solid. But it wasn't like game body, I guess you'd say. Like, she had she was bringing a lot of personality, like not afraid to go against the grain a little bit, but also just making a lot of good connections. But I also kind of bringing up maybe the flip side of this what you brought up of these archetypes that we see again and again. Browsing online a little bit after the episode, I do feel like I want to talk. I want to bring this up. It might be a little bit more on a critical side, but I do think that like this premiere for me.
Casting.
What's up?
You about to say something about casting?
I am. I do want to dive in this, because this premiere for me, and what I've heard a lot of people sort of like their feedback on it is, I think in the new era, it's just felt a little bit formulaic, and I think a lot of it's not all to do with casting. Like, having 3 tribes every season that are the same colors doesn't always make it easy to differentiate between the seasons. But I also think that just it's not the casting of any one individual in particular. Like, I think everyone there independently like is good casting, but I think just collectively, like the vibe has very much become like the same vibe of person kind of throughout, like especially the new era. And that also makes it difficult to differentiate, and makes the seasons, especially early on when they're still getting settled and you like don't really get to know them yet, it makes it feel very
explain more to me, because like, I understand the word, but I don't understand it.
Like, and then we talked about this before, like I love the diversity of like race and everything, but there's a lack of diversity of like background and like profession. And it's a lot of white collar people. It's a lot of like big Survivor fans, which I can't really complain. Like, that's my type of person. But at the same time, it can be very self-referential. Like, so many people that are like, well, I want to be the first person to wear a size 14 shoe to win the game of Survivor. It's like, well, you don't like, so many people are such fans that they're like referencing the show in and of itself, where it feels almost like you just got a bunch of fans like go play like a fan game, rather than like a natural representation of like America playing Survivor. Like,
now, is that a meta thought? Is that a meta?
Yeah, exactly. It's become very meta, and because everyone's such a big fan now, that's a trend that I feel like has continued to occur. Whereas, like, where are the like, and not that everyone can like necessarily like. I think people have said it skews a lot more like white collar now, because maybe those are the people who can afford to take time off of work. But in old seasons, we'd see like that blue collar farmer who's never watched Survivor, like a Keith Nail, or a Dale farm guy 69, or I mean honestly, like where are like the models who are also super charismatic? Like, it feels like, and not to say that I think back in some old Survivor, there was too much of an emphasis on appearance. But I also think that there's plenty of like very, very attractive people, which, you know, working casting people like to watch that, who also have really big personalities. And I feel like we don't see that as much anymore. And not that that needs to be the entire cast, but I just think to kind of close out my little rant, like it just feels the vibe of every season feels very similar. Whereas go back and look at like Gabon and Tocantins, which were filmed back to back. Those feel like completely different seasons to me. Yeah. But like you look at like those two examples, feels like completely different seasons. Obviously, that's helped by like different location too. But now look at like 49 and 41. Like that feels that's like 5 years apart, but it still feels very, very similar. So this whole new era has kind of blended together under this new era umbrella. And maybe after 50, things will go a different direction. So who knows? Maybe these complaints are already being addressed. And like again, not like no in particular like one person is like bad casting in my mind. It's just this like it's just a very similar theme that we see again and again and again that makes things feel very formulaic, at least at the beginning of the season when things are getting like settled in. What do you guys think about that?
I agree. It's funny because I never thought, again, here I go, why I hate Jack. I feel like never would I thought, who was the rapper, the model that rapped on your season, Wendell?
Chris Noble.
Chris Noble, who was a recruit. Also on Jesse's season, Cody was a recruit, right? Like I feel like, and before the Cody era, but like during the Chris Noble era and before that, people used to have the complaint of like, you're bringing on these recruits and like, this could be a super fan. And I think in reflection, the recruits or someone that doesn't have a knowledge of like, I have a PhD in Survivor, they bring something different to Survivor. And I think you're absolutely right. We're absolutely missing that. And they normally do well in Survivor, right? They normally like excel.
They're wild cards. They look at it from a different perspective. Sometimes they have a different like just way of playing the game.
Yeah. And I think it's a balance where you want to have some of those fans that are going to play hard, but also having, like Wendell said, like that wild card. Maybe sometimes it's going to be a recruit who doesn't know the game. And for that reason, they might make moves that are not in their best interest, but that allows sometimes the best players to have more wiggle room to really make plays. Whereas now if everybody knows the game, it's so much harder to like play a big game, like a really entertaining winning game, because everybody knows you got to cut the what is it? Cut the high,
cut the cheese,
the high, the grass that sticks out the top. Like you got to cut that off to keep the lawn clean. I don't know if that's definitely not.
I never heard that, Jack.
The high grass that sticks off. Keep the lawn clean.
But why wouldn't you just cut the grass? Like, don't you think that's a lazy way to cut the grass, though?
But think about like no, agree. Okay. But think about older seasons. A lot of the winners would be more like dominant because they'd have more wiggle room, and some of those seasons could be boring. But that's why I think it's a balance of like you have the people that are fans that know the game, they're going to play hard, but then you have some people that are wild cards and they're not always going to make the right move, and they bring a different vibe.
Remember Cody?
Yeah.
He was one of those wild cards.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
We watched like a couple seasons, went out there, and like he was fun to watch until Jesse sniped him.
But that's the end of my I don't like, but I think that's a complaint that I've seen a lot in general being echoed throughout the Survivor community. And 41, it's just the vibe, it just feels very, very similar. It feels obviously, like I said, other factors of like it's the same location, it's a lot of the same challenges, it's the same tribe colors, it's always 3 tribes. There's always like an opportunity, and this might hold more true in the premiere when we're just getting to feel things out and getting to know people before they've really settled in. But I don't know. I think that there's a
point though. On the opposite side of the coin, even though it is like a formula that does feel the same, I also feel like when you use that formula, we get new characters that we've never seen before, like a Christina, right? Like I love Christina's energy. I think that she's amazing. And I also love how like She's scared of birds. She's like screaming. Like there's something about a Christina that I absolutely just kind of relate to.
Agreed.
Or even like the Jason, the alternate, who like you can see so many people in him, like where he's like, hey, full disclosure, 2 nights ago, I went to bed. I know what the hell was going on. And yet you see how he moves. And it's so intricate and like he's smart. He knows the game. You think of a Annie, where like I feel like Annie's the typical older person that doesn't fit in. Not that she's older.
But my point
go
is like all these people on an individual basis, like I said, not bad casting, but when you bring them all together, a lot of the vibes are very and I think Christina was a great example because I think she does have like a unique feel in this cast. Like I don't think Christina fits this bill. More so what I guess an example, and again, this isn't a knock on any of the specific people. When you think of like a lot of the women in this cast, there is a Shannon, a Savannah, a Sage, and 2 Sophies, and they're all like brunette women, right? And so for the average fan who's watching it, like obviously as the season goes on and they kind of make their mark and distinguish their personalities more, it's going to be different. But up top, it's like for the average viewer who's not doing any research or listening to any podcasts, it's like some of them look the same. Like,
no, I mean, they do. They absolutely do. But I also want to say like Savannah, right? And again, while we were at our party, and again, spoiler alert to anybody that is listening or watching, fast forward 30 seconds, right? Like we know Riz God and Savannah, they go on to season 50. While we were at our party last night and I was talking to some of our friends, because we're not fans at this point. If you pulling up to a Brice and Win because you listen to Survivor News, we're friends. A lot of them did not know who was going on 50. And I had to do the Jack Atkins and apologize. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I walk away. In my realm, I thought it was common knowledge, right?
Yeah.
And so that was a shocker to me. Also, like someone like Savannah. I love Savannah.
Agree.
Like, and again, this is why I hate you, Jack, because I don't know if necessarily Savannah would have been somebody that's on my radar, but Savannah is a shark. And I love a shark. Like Savannah is like, hey, let's play. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I'm done. What's up? I'm trying to kill you. What's up? Like, I
do love with her that she diagnosed that Shannon might not be her cup of tea, but she saw that she had influence and was like, let me connect rather than like oppose. And now Savannah's in a great spot.
Yes, but here's where I said, oh, I'm locked in with Savannah. Jawan. First of all, Jawan had a killer episode. I love the way Jawan was navigating. Also, I saw Jawan without his shirt on. I could see he was doing them push-ups. He had to look. I said, oh, okay, Jawan.
What about his fire?
Well, he don't need to light my fire.
He'll be all right.
Okay, I got.
You all right? All right, just checking.
Don't worry, Jawan. I got a lighter. Okay. He said he practiced for 2 years.
He'll be all right. He'll be all right.
Should have been practicing for 4, Jawan. You should have been
practicing, Jawan. Just check. You know, you're our people. Just check it.
Can't practice, but here's the thing, Jawan. You can't practice with a lighter. But no, I love Jawan's arc. Him being the oldest of 5 of a single parent household, me being the youngest of 5 from a single parent household. Like I immediately got Jawan, but I also love how Jawan talk to everybody. Jawan, like, you know, I love Jawan. I was like, oh my God, Jawan about to win this season. But what won me over with Savannah was when Jawan had a meltdown about not making fire. And here I am, the third boot of Kagian. And the way my mind thinks is if it's us 3, me, Wendell, and Jack making fire, and Jack can't make fire, and he's trying, and then you walk off and you get upset. In my mind, I say that's an opening. I'm going to go over there and talk to Jack. Like, I'm going to go like that. That's how my mind works. I'm like, I'm going to go make a connection with Jack and be like, it's good. Like, that would be an opening for me. I love the fact that Savannah said, okay, I was going to work with him and take him to the end. And like, that's just not how my mind works. And that
Yeah.
has me thinking like, wow, like that's a shark. And okay.
You smell blood.
What am I humming, Wendell? Because you're a father.
You're not humming Baby Shark, that's for sure.
He was trying to.
Jack,
You know what you're not humming?
how does Jack, how does Baby Shark go? Hum it.
This is so
Okay,
5 years ago, but
no, it's not Wendell House. Go.
it's
Since I'm
like,
not humming it.
you want me to? Isn't it?
That's what I was
You
humming.
were thinking the Baby Shark part. You were just do.
You were just, it was just all bad, Brice.
Anyway,
Baby Shark, do 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 do, Baby Shark, do 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 do, Baby Shark, do 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 do.
Okay, now how do we do the Savannah mix? Bump 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 bump, because that's how Savannah was moving.
She said, "Vote Joe wanted to."
Vote Joe wanted to.
No, I can't manifest that energy, but
That's crazy.
Wait, before we move too far forward, Wendell, I do want to hear your thoughts on that discussion we had about just kind of the new era, not to be on like a negative kick, but it's just a sentiment I've seen a lot online.
But Jack, before we just move too far forward, I just love to hear from Wendell.
What Brice said.
About which part, Brice? I will gladly opine on the casts kind of having similar vibes, and that you get a lot of similar-ish players, and it would be cool to have
Jack said that.
Well, I just wanted to see if you agree, disagree. Like,
I agree. I agree. I'm always a fan of diversity, and like, what was homeboy's name? Pat Cusack. Let's get like let's throw some, different players in the mix and really shake.
I mean, that's a great example of a season that has like everything you could, like David versus Goliath. He was the medevac right away. But that whole season, it's like there's so many different, and I don't know if this is in a weird way. I know not everybody loves a theme necessarily, but a lot of these theme seasons do really establish these archetypes of people very quickly, like a Brains, Bronze, Beauty. You kind of know off the rip what everybody's vibe is, and it helps. I don't want to say it like shoehorns them into a category, because people are so much more than that, but you kind of know immediately like what someone is bringing, right? And it helps kind of establish their I don't want to say their role or their archetype, because again, they're going to bring more throughout the course of the season. But just off the top, even for like the average fan who might not be listening to podcasts and like knowing everybody's names, it's, you'd be like, oh, well, that's the guy that's like the Southern guy who's a model or whatever,
Right.
But,
you want to know one of my gripes though?
Yeah.
One of my gripes for the marooning challenges, I absolutely hate when they gotta run into the woods. I don't know why that prickles my pickle, but like I don't like when they have to like run into the woods. Like, Jeffrey, show me like what we got to do right here. Jump off of a boat. Let's like get everything off a boat, jump and swim to shore. It prickles my pickle.
I think I love this take, because I'm imagining the teams standing on the mat cheering, go Jake, go Jake. He runs in the woods, and then they're just kind of like, so where are you from? Like, we just gotta kill some time. We don't know what they don't know. They don't even know how they're doing, right? It's like their first impression of their team. It's like, I hope that they're getting that snake.
Brice is having an issue, Jack. Oh my goodness.
Since you missed it though.
Brice is like, I want to see them grab the snake.
I absolutely do. But time out though. Since we are talking about them running into the woods, also that was a long snake. Can we just
okay?
Can we take a moment Now, although I said Jake might be built like Hulk Hogan and not in a negative way, but like he got a little. Jake looked like he drink beer and he do crunches, and I ain't mad at that. But what I was not prepared for was the way Jake took off. Did y'all see? Jake was
He was out.
out. Like, Jake.
Look at him.
No, I don't correlate that body type to going fast. And with Jake, I said, oh,
You got legs of a runner.
I don't know what that is, Jack, and that's not funny. I don't know what that is.
He's got a big upper body, but his legs are a little more.
Okay, and legs of a runner don't have no big upper body. Anyway, but the thing that I also thought was so funny with Jake was okay. Jake was out. Also, Alex was out too. But
that's when Jake fell in love.
okay, I was a little jealous. Okay, call me Sophie B because I was like, no, wait a minute. But what for me being somebody that has actually been on the first episode, okay, that's all I got. No, actually, I got 2 episodes, but and maybe you could attest to this, Wendell. And I think that Jake alluded to this was that, like, sure, this marooning challenge, like, they were challenges. The run to the woods, then to like. Also, with my hatred of the running into the woods, oh, baby, the way I love an actual swimming challenge. Like, when you have to, like, because the way some of the people was running into the ocean, I'm like, that's dumb. Like, don't run into the ocean top speed because you can't, like, dive. You have to, like, mid-sprint so that you can, like, but I love the swimming challenge. But what I just wanted to say, Wendell, was, on my challenge, on my season, on the first episode, what shocked me, we weren't in Fiji, we were in the Philippines, was I gave that exact same energy, which is why Solana, we won. But you quickly feel, like you feel the heat. You feel you haven't been drinking water. You quickly feel like, oh, I need to pace myself. And throughout the challenges, I'm like, oh, Jake is killing it. And it reminds me of Garrett from my season. Like, the bigger men, I oftentimes feel like even Brandon Cottom on his season, you go so hard and your body feels it the absolute most. And I'm like, whoa, Jake needs to slow it down a little bit because, like, you're going to feel it. And also, it's just like, I don't know. And again, you could talk to this window and Jake, Jack, your take, where sometimes, and again, I love Jake. I thought, like, but I also feel like, baby, you going too hard. Like, too hard. Like, but I also question someone like a Jake where it's like you clearly want to go out there and be like, oh, I'm the big bad wolf. Oh, I'm the big bad wolf. And it's like, I rather you like be the big bad wolf, but like, don't blow my house down.
I think that's a great point with the water challenges too, because at least if you're running on land and you get gassed out, you can like pace yourself a little bit more. But if you gas it into the water and like you're gonna be exerting, you can't just take a break while you're swimming.
Right.
You are swimming. And that water part was pretty intense with the whole ass boat they had to pull in.
And even Jeffrey was like, this is a swimming challenge. Like, I was like, oh, like they are like, yeah.
He ain't playing.
They were out there. So
Jeff lets you know. Yeah, like in saying that, it's like, yeah, y'all are about to really swim and really drag this thing.
Yeah. What did you guys think about these other challenges? First we could hit the Rizzo Alex face off at for the supplies. What did you guys think about that?
I thought it was awesome television.
And Rizzo, we trust, right? Like, because first of all, I love Alex. Like, Alex is smart. First of all, Rizzo being like, yo, if it's a puzzle, no cat. Like, hey, yo, no cat. If it's a puzzle, I'm just letting y'all know we ain't going, like, it ain't for me.
No, we're cooked. We're cooked.
We're cooked. We're like, Come on,
That's
with the
actually smart if you're good or bad at a puzzle when you are sent to, off. Like if you preemptively let them know, like, yo, I'm not good at puzzles.
The bar is low then. You're like, it's either I told you or
right.
I'm
Hey,
him. I
question. Clearly, after watching the episode, we could see Alex got his puzzle and where the anchor, not the anchor. What do you call
wheel.
the wheel? But what's in the ship term? They call it something.
Wheel?
It's like
The wheel?
No.
The ship's wheel?
They call it something. What do you call the wheel of a ship? Okay, whatever. But no, it's not. It's it.
I think you're muted. Brice, you're muted, I think.
Like the stern or like the helm. Anyway, is it in Survivor rules? Like we see where Alex was digging, it was like them two things there. Like if Rizzo didn't finish his puzzle, he couldn't just run to where on his side.
His wheel was in a different
but it was in a different spot. But if you look, it was like two sticks of a stick. Like it was obvious.
I was thinking about that. I'm guessing there was a rule he had to finish his puzzle, so he couldn't I don't know though. That's a good, but also maybe it wasn't just in there. So then if he doesn't finish it, then he's just running over there and just wasting time. I thought Alex should have, maybe
dismantled.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't sure the exact spot, so maybe you leave the X, but you take out the other pieces, right? I can't, heat of the moment. That's like, I see why he didn't maybe do that. And obviously he had a big lead and just couldn't quite. Those digging parts are always, we've seen those work out horribly for some people, like Ron. They dig for so long and you can't, and they bury them pretty deep, it looks like too. So you might be digging somewhere for a while and be like 3 feet down and give up, and it's 3.5 feet down, and you're like, oh.
Right.
That's kind of like
and that's what won me over about the Riz God was when he won, and he was like, this is the biggest moment of my life. Like, this is like, I'm looking out for my girl, my family. And then he starts crying. And I'm like, why are they making me love the Riz God? And not that I don't already love him. Like, he's been great, but like it's like he has Christian Ubicki with a Jelinski mixed in with a little Rome, right? Like, it's like there's so many, and I say the Rome because it's like he's a character. He knows it. Like, it's just, there's just so many things. But like, he's 24. He's still a baby, right? Like, I don't know. It's just like him crying over that. I was like, God darn it. And Riz, we trust. Oh my God, sweet baby Riz. Like,
I'm still feeling him out a little bit, but definitely like he was great during that challenge because he was funny, and just like him going and like looking at that Alex's puzzle and just all like every moment was great.
And his commentary, he's doing it, and he's saying funny things too. Yeah. Like we are hearing his thoughts.
And tell me if I'm glazing or not, but I also feel like sometimes on Survivor, we know when people are pandering to the audience. I don't get that Riz is pandering, right? Like, I get that, like, Riz is like, he reminded me of you, Jack. Like, you're just, I get the sense.
That's just his actual, like, inner monologue.
Funny.
Yeah, he's not, that's true. He's not, like, it doesn't seem like he's, like, trying too hard to put on a show. He just, like,
right.
Speaking of Jelinski's, apparently someone at the event last night thought I was Jelinski.
Is that a compliment?
We'll see. Appearance-wise, we'll take it. We'll take it.
Jelinski is handsome. He's a zaddy. You're a zaddy. Jelinski spent more time on the island.
But I think Brando came over to me and was like, they just asked if you were Jelinski. I was like, fair enough.
Shout out to Brando. What else do I want to talk about?
Well, do you want to talk about, now we can kick over to the immunity challenge.
Okay. I thought the immunity challenge was very interesting in the sense that we don't normally that snake challenge that we saw, we don't normally see it 3 people, right?
It's usually more.
I thought it was normally 2 people. And I think normally we see that snake challenge is vertical.
Well,
It's
that's
not
in the
landing.
water too.
It's in the water, and doesn't like many people have to get it out of the water. I thought.
Well,
Yeah, they each had to. They went in pairs each to get 3 different ones, right?
so no, I'm talking about the actual puzzle at the end.
Oh,
Like that
well,
puzzle, and we did it in South Africa. Like that was something when we completed.
we did it
like,
vertically, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like we don't
Yeah.
normally see it like that, and it's normally like 2 people. So I thought the third element makes it extremely more harder.
It was definitely. Yeah. Oh, you're talking more about like the snake, the maze itself than like
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, I thought it was, and they only had to get 1 ball in, right? I think so. I don't know. I mean, the blue tribe definitely was a little bit of a disaster. There were a lot of funny, like Nicole just spitting water in Jeremiah's eye. That was crazy. And then I also thought, I didn't think Nicole was like doing a particularly bad job at calling, but then you have Annie who's like, this is as far as it'll go. Meanwhile, she's got like 5 feet of rope behind her and she's like leaning forward into the thing. I'm like, sis, back up a little bit. Like, what do you mean? So that was sort of a disaster. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, on paper, like I think a lot of people thought this blue tribe would be, well, you have like I feel like I saw a lot of people talking about, oh, there's always like a disaster tribe. Like the production is always planning one tribe to lose everything. But it's like, if they were planning for a tribe to lose all the challenges, I don't think that's the tribe they're putting Jake on. Like,
I disagree. I think that is the tribe you would put a Jaco on.
Well, I don't think you would expect that the tribe with Jake would end up losing a lot of challenges. Obviously, they've only lost a couple so far. They've only lost a couple so far. Maybe they'll bounce back. But yeah, and I think also the element of having so many people do things in pairs kind of also balances things out a little bit, because then you're only as strong as your weakest link sometimes. So
yeah, and
no, I didn't think Nicole. I mean, Nicole and Annie both struggled a little bit, but I thought watching the episode, Nicole was probably better in the challenges than Annie. There's other things at play, of course, but yeah, you can see those 4, the 4 on blue, like Alex, Jeremiah, Jake, and Sophie came together pretty quick. The other 2 were on the outs a little bit socially, also challenge-wise. So it makes sense, kind of the direction that this goes after the challenge ends.
I have a hot take.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm a Sophie B. Like I'm a Sophie B fan. Like I've gotten to meet Sophie B in person, and I like Sophie B's spice, right? Like I like how she like, oh, okay, I get a little jealous if somebody tell me they my number 1, and you talking to somebody else, and we clearly see Sophie B like lending and moving herself. I think there's no shade to my girl Sophie B, but I think a potential misstep in Sophie B was when she connects with Jake while Alex is away, and we know that Jake and Alex haven't really talked one-on-one, and Sophie B kind of says like, hey, what's up? What you trying to do? And Jake immediately says, well, I feel like I have a connection with Alex, so it's Alex, me, and you. Let's go. In that moment, I would have been like, okay, that's red flag number 1, in the sense of like you're bringing someone to the table, so that automatically puts me at a deficit. I think, and again, who knows how it'll shake out. I feel like it may have been in Sophie B's best interest to maybe have then get a Jeremiah, get a Nicole.
Well, she kind of did.
Kinda, but like didn't.
For me, the more. Now, I think Sophie had a lot of options this episode, so that's why she had to make certain decisions that we can like discuss. Right. I think she handled that fine. To me, the bigger, like, and this isn't even like a big misstep, but something I questioned a little bit more was when Nicole became the target and Annie came to Sophie and said,
And
we can
she
vote out
spoke that.
Nicole, and then you, me, and Jeremiah can take out one of the boys next. If I'm Sophie, I maybe want to keep that option open because, like you said, obviously Alex and Jake are close. It would make a lot of sense next for Sophie, Jeremiah, and Annie to team up, because then if you get to 4 with that duo, it's going to be hard to break them up. But at the same time, if she's really locked in with Jake and Alex, which I don't think is a bad move by any means, then it can also just buy her some more loyalty points to be like, by the way, Annie came to me with this information, and I want to just tell you guys right away because you're my people. And also, it looked like Sophie was maybe a little bit closer with Nicole than she was with Annie. So maybe that was a play to maybe shift the vote onto Annie, throw that information out there, keep Nicole, and then maybe Sophie has the same option with Nicole at 5. So that's not even, I don't even think she did anything wrong, but that was more of the inflection point that I thought was like that's a little more
I'm
open
with you.
analysis.
And I'm even with you in the sense of that same point, but James Jones says information is knowledge, right? Where it's like you don't have to report that to them.
Yeah.
Hold that to your chest, but you're making the inroads. But I also feel like, again, like I said, that player that we have seen in Sophie and Steven and in Shannon, where it's like that chaoticness. Even like I love the little moment where Sophie and Jeremiah are walking, and Jeremiah's like, hey, I went to Jake, and Jake said he'll talk to you, and Sophie's like, but yeah, if you're gonna be my number one, you gotta tell me everything. And Jeremiah like, bitch, I just did.
Yeah.
Like that's where I loved a Sophie. So again, but Sophie is positioning herself well, but it just it makes me a little nervous. And I don't want you to go along with their plans. I want you to be making the moves. I do, but again, we will see what happens. And again, I'm a Sophie B stan.
The thing is, I also do think Sophie with that group is in there, as that's a 3, and then Jeremiah and Annie feel a little bit more.
But I feel like in that group, she's definitely 3 to.
But true,
1, 2,
I actually
3.
don't think it's so bad. God forbid they go to 3 more tribals in a row. Early on, I actually like to be the 3. Right? You have this, you pair up with a duo who is going to be perceived as the ones controlling things. They might have more of the target. You're the tag along. Obviously, I think ideally in a group of 6, you want to make sure you are in that final 2 of that tribe to make sure you got paths all the way through. But I don't hate to be the 3 in a perceived couple, whether it's a bromance or a showmance. But
come on, talk about a bromance. Now, you bringing up a bromance, can I ask you a question? Do you feel like, again, I love a good I love a little M on M. I love a little man on man action. Okay, I love anyway. I'm just saying, snake on snake.
This is a child friendly show, Brice.
I'm saying you 2 people had to go get the snake. Is that not snake on snake?
No.
Well, that'll be just one snake.
Okay. Well, I mean, listen, 1 snake, 2 people. Whatever your mathematical, whatever the algorithm gives you.
However you want to shake the snake.
Oh my. Okay.
What's your question though, Brice?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I like to shake the snake. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Do we feel like in the Jake Alex shake the snake? I feel like Alex is chilling. I feel like Jake might be shaking the snake a little too much. I don't know. I feel like
what?
I feel like they are too forward.
Yes.
And I feel like it's more Jake to the snake to Alex. And I feel like Alex is like, wow, I have a number 1. And I love that. And again, this is me reflecting on many seasons watching it, where it's like, if I were to have a number 1, I don't want y'all to know that's my number 1. That would be problematic for me. And I feel like they're just being a little too bold with it. However, I also feel like when I was on Cagayan, I had many connections with people, but we were like private with it. And I feel like sometimes when you are the strong, dominant together, it shakes the tables below you. So people kind of have to like move under it. So
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know which one is better, but like it just brings me to sometimes I don't want you to know what's up, but
No,
also
I'm with
when you
you.
know what's right. Like when
Especially
you
in a
know
tribe of
what's
6 now, it's like, okay, they're an obvious duo. So if I'm any of the other 3, I'm gonna be like, well, at what point am I not? Are they coming after me? Because there's only like Jeremiah and Annie got to know they're up next, and so it's going to be up to Sophie to be like, does she want to stick with that pair and be the 3, or does she want to create her own squad to roll with?
and do we feel like Alex watched season 38 trying to create a Gabe and a tsunami with him and Annie? Or do you feel like that was because I immediately saw the comparison? I was like, oh, okay. Like, and
Well,
would that have been the last season they watched before they went out?
I don't know if he's trying. I don't know if he's trying to do that. I mean, he compared her to the I guess congressperson that he works for, or the person on the hill he works for, and so yeah, he looked at this relationship, which is a great working relationship, and he's like, all right, I can do this in Survivor. I can work with this
I
person.
just think Alex is also like, I feel like he knows the game. And I feel like a very classic move, and this probably happens a lot, and this is just maybe the one they showed, but it's like, oh, you remind me of my cousin. Like you're so, and then that makes people feel like, oh, like they think of me like family, even though is Annie gonna be a congresswoman? I don't know. Like that to me, that's different. And she even said, she's like, don't say your mom, like, and you could tell he was like, he's like, you remind me a lot of the women I know. I do want to ask now, just want to, whoever wants to start us off, but right, it feels pretty apparent that the options are Nicole and Annie. And they even tell Annie, like, we're telling her it's you. Presumably when Nicole thinks it's, Nicole obviously thinks it's Annie, and maybe, but Nicole not knowing anything else is probably like, okay, Annie thinks it's you, Nicole. Like that probably came up. And we don't really see, not that we see everything, but we don't really see any of them like scramble or make any other plans, or there's no shot in the dark sort of being, from what we see, being considered. And then, ultimately Nicole's like, I got fully blindsided. It's like, you didn't think you were going home, but you kind of knew as you were Annie. So that's not, to me, that's not a blindside necessarily. But what do you guys think, like, in their shoes, when you kind of know it's you or the other person, should they have rocked the boat more? Or you kind of just have to like hope that your people are your people and they're going to stick with you and try to earn that trust that way?
If it's the first,
So me being the first person voted off of my tribe, I do have a more nuanced response to this answer.
Yeah.
And with Nicole being a queer woman, and we see immediately when Nicole and Jeremiah connect, she makes the connection of like, I'm glad this tribe is more colorful, right? Like for me, that makes me feel like Nicole is present in her queerness. And I think, and I'm just speaking for myself, on my tribe, when I was on Cagayan, me being a gay Black man, I didn't want to be too aggressive in the sense of, we working together, let's go. We working together, let's go. Like, right? Like, because and again, it's different. I'm a gay Black man. Nicole is a queer Caucasian woman, right? And so our experiences are different, but I would think that maybe it's similar, that there are some stereotypes of like gay people that like will bond together, will like connect. And so for me, when I was out there, I didn't want to be like, we locked in, let's go. We locked in, let's go. Like I wanted to like, let's give it some time, a day or two. And from the edit in which we see Jake waits no time. We see Sophie waits no time. We see Jeremiah even sees what's happening and clicks up. I almost feel like and I haven't listened to Nicole's exit interviews, but I almost wonder if it was something of like Nicole being like, I'm a queer woman out here. I don't want to come on to whatever. I want to like form natural relationships and go from there, because it seems like, sure, Nicole messed up, but like Nicole was holding her weight. Like she was carrying, like you messed up, but she's strong. She's dedicated. It seems, for me, I feel like it was more of a thing where she didn't strike. She didn't make connections and like lock in. And that's something that I feel like I struggle with, was that I didn't lock in. I wanted to like give it a day or two, then lock in, but people had already locked in. And so I think that is really what could have been the downfall of Nicole.
No, fair. Totally hear that. And then I guess flash forward to after the challenge. Now these votes are being discussed, and she kind of has this. It's a little more binary of like, it seems like it's either going to be Annie or maybe, assuming she doesn't know who Annie's voting for, it might be her. Do you think she made the right play and just kind of like keeping it a little more simple and hoping that her people were with her? Obviously that didn't work out, but like I think there's a case to that's the move, because that's kind of what Annie did and it worked out okay. Or do you think Nicole should have been and going to look for idols? Should she have been trying to make another plan with like, should she have tried to team up with Annie and make another move? Like, how do you think, given that situation where maybe she doesn't have the best relationships yet, how does she maneuver out of this? Or does she play her shot in the dark? Like,
you want a backup plan. So you want to keep your eyes peeled for idols. You want to, if it's you or her and you're not sure, which you can't be at that moment, you should use your shot in the dark. Go ahead.
I think you should, but I also feel like, to give credit to the tribe, I think they blindsided her. Like, I don't think that she even thought that it was not her. And that's the thing, as to why it's like, I'm not mad at the position that she was in, because like, I feel like they really blindsided her. I don't think that she even,
she obviously thought like in her mind it was going to be Annie.
Right.
Sure.
And so that's
I
what
guess
my message.
That begs a couple general questions of like, or especially early on, if you know it's someone else or you, do you lock in and just hope that it's someone else and hope that your people are with you? Or just with your name being on the table, do you go and try to make an alternate plan? Because that alternate plan might work and take your name out of the mix, but it also could then, your people could be like, oh, now all of a sudden they're trying to shake things up. Maybe we just get them. I think that's a debate to have. I also think the other thing is, like, we've talked about this before. If you know it's you or someone else and it's probably going to be 5-1 either way, do you just play your shot in the dark to be safe? And I think there's a reason. Like, I think absolutely that, because either way, it's either going to be you or them, probably unanimous. So your vote doesn't really matter. But at the same time, the vote, by not playing your shot in the dark and voting, I think it does show more trust in your allies, so that if it actually is Annie, like they're not questioning that, you were nervous or whatever. So it's like that's another weird dilemma to me, where it's not as.
I think we need to back it up more. Like, we need to back it up prior to that. And I think my advice to this situation is, you need a number one, day one, night one. You need a number one, period. Like that, because say Nicole locked in with Jeremiah and this all happens, right? Like, I would think that Jeremiah would be like, hey, sis, we locked in, but baby, they saying your name and it's nothing I can do. The only thing that I can do is tell you is that they are voting for you. Then that puts Nicole in a better position to be like, I have to play my shot in the dark, right? Where I feel like, watching this episode, I don't know who Nicole's number one was. Was it Sophie?
Yeah.
Was it Annie? Was it? And so again, I just think like backing it up a little bit more is like to the future Survivor players, because we know people that listen to Survivor News will be the future Survivor players. Is like, night one, lock in with someone, period.
Yeah.
And don't play it safe.
And it's almost like if you have, I think in the tribe of 6-2, it's if you lock in with one, and ideally you're not going to be as obvious as like a Jake and an Alex. You lock in with one, you work together.
Should you be?
I don't
Because
think so.
like that's the question that I have though, because like look at what position that.
Well, I think you
in.
solidify, but maybe you don't nationally broadcast to your whole tribe of like, this
But
is my
again,
duo.
that's my
Because once you have this duo, then
No.
you pull in a third, make them maybe feel like they're your number one, right? Brice, you lock in. We're like, we could get Wendell, but then by not being an obvious duo, we make Wendell feel good. Now we're a 3, and once you have 3 out of 6, usually, unless the other 3 is really, really locked in, I mean, they're not going to go to rocks. You tell someone, yo, we could be a 4. They're going to be like, I'm down, and that's your squad. So I think
I'm with you, Jack.
That's what I mean by I agree. You got to get your number 1 early.
Yeah.
Then you have enough pressure to then grab the other things around you. But if you're standing idly by, you're not locking in. You're
right.
then,
You're just going with the.
Yeah.
But my now new question to you though is, do I not broadcast who my number 1 is? Because it feels like in recent Survivor era, in the new era, the people that be locked in, and again, I'm not saying win, but in order to win, you have to make it to what?
The end. James Jones.
Well, think about a Kyle and a Camilla.
The next day.
They locked in and they
right.
Secret.
Very true. But also Kyle was locked in with who else? That was publicly known. I'm saying like you have to make it to the next day. And so I agree. And again, this is the Jack Atkins in me. This is the Brax Maxon in me that
who's Brass
maybe
Maxon?
The Brax Maxon.
The Brack.
Yes.
Isaacins?
No, not even the Brack, like Jack
Brack.
But
yeah,
anyway,
right.
the Brack Jackson in me feels like maybe you should go public because, like, again, maybe you separate from that public thing, but like, there's something to like, oh, they're together. I don't.
But I think that also creates this risk of like that's a duo. Everyone else can then be like, oh, you see how close Jack and Brice are. That's the duo. So I think you have to.
And that was everybody
solidify that
you.
privately and like really lock in. But I don't think you need to advertise that because ideally you have a couple people thinking maybe they're your number 1.
But
again,
Jake and Alex, they didn't necessarily broadcast it. But when Sophie B came to Jake was like, "Hey,
well,
you don't think
that's kind of your broadcast?"
Beach. He said, "Come on, babe." They held hands and skipped up the beach together.
Ain't nothing wrong. And what's wrong with that?
But they're not broadcasting anything.
They not.
They literally did it on national TV.
When we get frozen yogurt, you don't hold my hand and go in and get the frozen yogurt?
I do not.
Do you pay for the frozen yogurt?
I don't do that either.
Do you spoon feed the frozen yogurt?
I don't do that either.
You're the frozen yogurt quietly.
Spoon feeding Wendy and Brice comes in. I want to get some of that.
Let me tell you, Jack, since we're on this tangent, the only reason why Brice drives with me and Wendy to
don't even do that
is because he wants to get Brice wants to get frozen yogurt.
Nothing wrong with that.
And he waits till after we drop Wendy off, and then Brice and I go get frozen yogurt instead of getting the frozen yogurt with my son.
I said you don't gotta pay for his little ass. Brice is like, I just miss how it used to be just you and me. Brice is like, you've only known this fool for 2 years.
No new friends.
Not even my baby. No, but I have discovered frozen yogurt and it is delicious. But also, since we're on this topic, I have two flavors of frozen yogurts that I get. What does your cup of frozen yogurt look like, Wendell?
I get a dollop of about 5 different flavors.
That's a lie.
It's self-serve.
Man, I remember when I was 12.
Would you go with Christine or Ben?
I feel like usually it's someone else's parents taking me.
And what would your bucket look like?
My mom would be like, "We got frozen yogurt at home," or whatever.
Yeah.
So ultimately, Our girl Nicole goes home, and yet again, the trend of a woman, a queer person, is eliminated first on Survivor, and it sucks to see. But if I happen to be the first person to go home, I would love my Survivor edit for me to be spitting water in somebody's face and throwing up in my hand. I mean, I feel like low key Nicole is iconic. And I always say this, in order to play Survivor, you have to understand that, like, Jack is not a gambler, but in order to win big or in high stakes, you have to be in a position to have an
Let it
an
out.
attitude to afford to lose the money that you put out. And so, in order to play Survivor and want to win big, you have to be able to know that you playing could result in you going home. And so, although Nicole went home, I thought she was an absolute delight to our screen. I'm happy that she is added to our Survivor family, and I hope to see her
She had a
again
good
on our.
attitude about it too
Yeah.
in her exit confessional. She's from Philly, right? Is this the Philly curse?
Lives in Philly, right?
She lives in Philly. She's from Long Island. She lives in Philly. My coworker, she is my coworker's cousin. Shout out to May Gleason. And yeah.
I mean,
And
what's
like I
up
said-
with this? What's up with this Philly curse?
Well, it's the Philly pipeline to Survivor. You know, the Philly people get on. It's a matter of what you do on the show.
Yeah.
And is it a curse? Because I feel like the best people that have ever played Survivor are always pre-mergers. Pre-mergers are the most dynamic, amazing, fun, talented people. So is it a curse or is it a blessing? You tell me.
All a matter of perspective, I guess. But
Okay.
I feel like we talked about during our draft. I think you guys had mentioned that, talking about Philly, that you were like a lot of like maybe Philly has
We
struggled.
don't have a winner yet. We are hoping to have someone
speaking
from
of the
Philadelphia
draft-
win.
Speaking of the draft, Nicole was one of Wendell's picks for a potential third boot, which to me, generally, I would say you kind of clocked it because, like, first boot, third boot, it all similar range. I had her as a potential merge boot, so that's off the table for me. How'd you have that ready so fast? But so me and Wendell, I guess we're a point down because we got fewer options for this third boot, but. I feel like my draft's looking good, though. I'm not mad at it.
Diva down.
Diva down.
Well, I think Survivor 49 is off to a great start. Whether Jack and the ladder believe that it's the same season, different names, or even same names, I think the personalities here make it. Also, just a shout out to our girl MC. I feel like she had a phenomenal episode. We didn't see a lot of her, but I feel like MC is competitive. She's fun. She speaks her mind. I feel like we didn't really talk about we talked about I'm not a KO Shanana. I'm not a KO Shanana. I feel like, listen, for you, and we about to end this, but let's just talk about the lore of you being a yogi, you being a meditation person. The fact that you can have your whole tribe out in the morning meditating, that says something about your position. And so we'll see how it plays out for Shannon. But like, we see Savannah clocking it, but like, we see you, girl. Shout out
to my point of what I said. I do think, I stand by that, but I think as the season goes on, these personalities start to carve themselves out more and become more distinct and like give more flavor to the season. I just mean like, especially thinking about, especially like the early pre-merges, a lot of times it does blend. I do want to clarify that, but
we didn't talk a lot about Sophie C, but I feel like we didn't see much of her. But in the new era, I feel like when we don't see much of people in the beginning,
Genevieve.
That's a good thing, right? Like, and what I can say enough is that like Sophie C seems in the game. She
Mhm.
seems to be aware, and she seems to be physical. All things that work with me. I also think Jason, someone we saw a lot in the beginning, but again, someone that's smart, that's like intelligent. He plays the game cute, we didn't see a lot of people, but I feel like we got to see peaks of everybody, and I think it has the potential for a great season. Whether you are Jack and other people that feel like it's the same season, just
I'm still optimistic. I still feel like it was a fun premiere. It feels like that, like Bryson when the blueprint, the keys, and the ignition is.
right.
It's getting charged up. Like the premieres recently, it's an intro. You know, you're still warming up to things. I think it'll take off. I'm not trying to be pessimistic.
No, I love it. And again, Jawan had a good showing. We shout out to Jawan. I was super hyped for Jawan. Sage, she definitely was saging. Okay, I don't need to see nobody poop, but I would. Never mind.
Wrap it up, B.
I was going to tell an anecdote, but I won't.
Okay.
Unless you want me to.
No.
Okay.
Bonus content.
I'm not in the poop.
Save it for the Patreon.
I do feel like people's poop do have their own sense. In the sense of, here's the thing. I've been to Wendell's house, and Wendell has blown up the toilet, and I could walk in and I could be like, whoa, Wendell blew up the toilet. We were at Fifth and Mad. We were setting up. Joey Hatch had to blow up the toilet, and like
Brice,
Wendell's like, is it safe to go to the bathroom yet? I'm like, you can still smell it. So I'm just saying, like,
breaking news: going to the bathroom smells sometimes.
Breaking news: never use the restroom when Brice Izyah is around.
Baby,
do not go to the Froyo bathroom.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'm just saying, people's oof of the bathroom have their
do not
own
go to the
smell.
bathroom at the South African airport.
Oh, that's how we met. Because Wendell and I was definitely going.
Okay.
There'll be a line out the door by the time you're done.
Oh
But
put in a
before we
timestamp
leave,
to stop listening at the 134 mark.
Jack, Froyo, is
Yeah.
that dairy?
Yeah, I think so. It's yogurt. That's dairy.
Okay.
Told you
Wendell.
so. Wrap it up, B.
I'll have dairy-free Froyo though.
Okay. All right. Well, listen. This isn't a dairy-free podcast. This is definitely dairy podcast. Survivor News is back and in full effect. This has been your Survivor News covering season 49, episode 1. We'll be back next week. We also will be in Boston for Brice and Win 49. The Blueprint tickets are still available. And for the remainder of the tour, Jackery, shout out to your Wi-Fi connection. Wendeezy, you spoke. We appreciate you. We'll be back next week. I'm not a karaoke.
It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You better listen in public, might make your stomach hurt. Ooh. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to unwind, you better get that box wine. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to get your snack, you better hurry right back though. It's the Purple Pants. It's the Purple